Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. No nonsense. Here are some no-fluff answers on topics I know something about. AI querying. Respect but suspect. Like with humans, they have limitations. Of course, there are hallucinations. A possible verifier? Ask the query slightly differently or use a different chatbot. OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, or Tesla's Grok. Also be aware that chatbots are liberally biased. They hide behind terms like safety, but they are biased by design. The sites they index, the humans who tune the raw results. They also default to sycophancy, sucking up to you, agreeing if at all possible, just like many arts coaches who praise beyond what's deserved to keep your money coming. Antidote? Ask a chatbot for a lethal reaction. Piano accompanying as a lesson in communication. Sure, accompanists listen and follow the soloist, but the excellent accompanist is alert to opportunities to lead the soloist if greater beauty is likely. Same in talking with someone. Listening is important, of course, and everyone considers themselves a good listener. Wrong. But the outstanding conversationalist intuits when to listen longer or to interrupt, speed up or slow down, use more emotion or less, talk more of the time or less. 30 to 70% should be your guardrails. And they end the conversation with a climax, maybe soft, maybe loud, but satisfying. Investing. Advisors benefit from making investing seem complicated. Yes, situations vary, but many, if not most, would be wise to simply do this. Have a few months rainy day fund in a money market, even a low penalty CD. Then have a fixed amount deducted from your paycheck to fund your tax-deferred account, a 401k, a 403b, or an IRA. If I have a choice, I would use Fidelity or Schwab. The interface is user-friendlier than Vanguard's. Wherever, you're able to choose what to invest in. If I were willing to invest more risk for possibly or likely better rewards, I would choose Vanguard Index 500 Fund. VOO is the symbol. Yes, you can buy it on the Fidelity and the Schwab websites. If I wanted to accept likely lower returns in exchange for less risk, I would invest in iShares Balanced ETF, symbol AOR, which is 60% stock, 40% bond. Do note I am not a licensed financial advisor and have nothing to gain from these recommendations. If in doubt, only because your situation may vary, consult a trusted advisor. About a PhD program. Alas, a doctorate is no longer a guarantor of good employment. Witness the growing number of even STEM PhDs doing 3, 4, even 6-year low-pay postdocs. How to up your chances? Choose an advisor who's a door opener. Relentlessly focus on a niche likely to render you employable, like an expert in Bayesian multivariate analysis, especially as applied to molecularly developed drugs or next-generation machine learning models. Be focused not just in choosing your advisor, but what lab to work in, papers to write, techniques to master, conferences to network and speak at, top scientists to develop relationships with, and do not automatically consider industry jobs inferior. Not only are salaries generally higher and jobs more plentiful, you're more likely to see useful results before your eyesight is too weak to see them. Dogs. They impose big taxes. Initial cost, medical, grooming, and the biggest, watching your innocent, sweet, faithful dog decline and die. But I have found the taxes worth it. I've had a dog my entire life. The keys? Adopt a mutt. Not only do you save a life, not only do you get hybrid vigor, they're 90% cheaper than a purebred, maybe free. Key? Sign up for alerts from shelter aggregators like adoptapet.com. And if it's a goodie, jump right on it. They go fast. When first meeting a dog, does it approach you or cower, let alone growl? My current doggy, Hachi, was sleeping, and when the door opened, lifted his little head, toddled over, and rested it on my thigh. Personality test completed. I cried and whispered, "May I have him?" I'm a busy guy and efficient in almost everything, but my doggy is somewhat inefficient, although earning his kibble by giving me enforced exercise and as a 24/7, 365 stress buster. May he live a long time. Gardening. Some people just like to futz in the garden, but if you want max ROI, grow tomatoes. Forget the cool heirlooms. They are stingier and more disease-prone, and usually have worse flavor. For example, compared with Orange Peruche, which is a frequent taste test winner, much better than the vaunted Sun Gold, let alone supermarket tomatoes. Want red? Try Early Girl or Big Beef. If you live in Zone 9 or higher, Washington Navel Orange or Meyer Lemon and Bougainvillea Purple Queen or Tide Delight. Soil, deep hole, refilled with 1/3 compost and a bit of cheap all-purpose granular fertilizer. Scuff the sides of the hole so the roots can more easily expand. I could get more, granular, or tell you obvious stuff like that drip systems save time, although make individual treatment of a plant hard. But the aforementioned should yield you maximum pleasure with minimum sweat. And finally, material. By now, everyone knows that beyond bare middle-class living, extra spend usually yields insufficient benefit for the money. Even if you're rich, you may find the complications of materialism not worth it. Too much stuff cluttering your life, a big home requiring too much maintenance, hiring, and taxes. Materialism's biggest tax is choosing a career you enjoy worse than one you'd otherwise choose, maybe a more creative or people-centric one. It's foolish to spend the best hours of the best years of your life doing work you dislike merely for a luxury nameplate on your jeans ass or your more breakdown-prone Luxmobile, let alone on a second-tier brand name on your diploma. Only people you shouldn't care to impress would be impressed by a Rolex when a Casio tells time as accurately and attractively at 95% less. Same for Coach purses, designer fashion, and so on. Don't be an idiot. I told you that this listicle would be no nonsense. In any event, that is no nonsense, no fluff answers on topics I know something about. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 36 books. Perhaps most relevant is How to Do Life, but all 36 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.